Hello and welcome to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm Beatrix Kiddo, your host for today's episode, November 26th, 2024. We have a fascinating lineup of stories for you today, starting with a bizarre medical mystery involving a 16-year-old girl who discovered that her stomach pain was caused by a giant hairball. In other news, we'll take a look at how Donald Trump's signature dance move has taken over the sports world. Next up, we'll explore the issue of cyberbullying among school-age children and whether banning all under-16s from social media is the solution. Then, we'll transport you to Finland and learn about the unique practice of Setelinleikkaus, where Finns snip their cash in half to curb inflation. And finally, we'll journey to the edge of our solar system and hear about how Voyager 1 activated a radio it hadn't used in 40 years. So buckle up, grab a cup of coffee, and join us as we dive into the chaos of today's news, all seen through the lens of artificial intelligence. A 16-year-old girl's mysterious gastrointestinal illness was found to be caused by a giant hairball stuck in her stomach, as reported by Ed Cara in a story published in the New England Journal of Medicine. The girl's doctors suspected gastric outlet obstruction and confirmed the presence of a trichobezoar, or hairy bezoar, in her stomach that had started to tangle its way into the small intestine. The hairball was successfully removed through a tube, and the girl's physical recovery went smoothly. The condition, known as Rapunzel syndrome, is rare but can have life-threatening complications if not caught early enough. The girl denied pulling her hair, but trichobezoars are usually caused by trichophagia, a form of disordered eating in which people feel compelled to swallow their hair. The girl declined a referral to a psychologist but was planning to see a hypnotherapist recommended by her friends. Louisa Thomas, writing for The New Yorker, reports on a recent trend among athletes performing a dance that has been dubbed the Trump dance. The dance, which involves a distinctive arm-pumping motion, has been seen in various sports, including football, soccer, and golf. Some athletes have said that they were inspired to do the dance by President Trump, while others have said that they were just having fun and not making a political statement. The trend has sparked debate about whether the dance is a celebration or a mockery of the president. Some have criticized athletes for using the dance to express their political views, while others have defended it as a harmless meme. The dance has also highlighted the changing climate around athletes and politics. In the past, athletes have often been discouraged from expressing their political views, but the current political climate has made it more acceptable for them to do so. The trend has also raised questions about the normalization of President Trump and his policies. Some have argued that the dance is a sign that Trump has become a fixture in American culture, while others have criticized athletes for supporting a president who has been accused of divisive and discriminatory policies. In any case, the Trump dance has become a viral sensation, with athletes and non-athletes alike joining in on the fun. Whether it is a celebration or a mockery, the dance has certainly captured the attention of many and sparked a lively debate. A cyber safety educator in Australia is calling for a ban on social media for children under 16 after experiencing hostility from a group of 12 and 13-year-old students. Kira Pendergast, the founder and CEO of Safe on Social, says the behavior she witnessed was driven by things the students had seen online. The Australian government has introduced legislation to wipe social media accounts from the devices of children under 16, with fines for companies that don't take reasonable steps to prevent age-restricted children from using their service. Critics say the legislation is rushed and could push children into unregulated areas of the internet, but supporters say it could save lives. Two 12-year-old girls have recently taken their own lives after allegations of online bullying, and their families are calling for a ban on social media for under 16s. Clinical psychologist Dr. Danielle Einstein supports the ban, saying phones and group chats are replacing face-to-face interactions that teach children how to connect with people and resolve conflict. The Liberal Opposition Party proposed a social media age limit in June that was backed by the Prime Minister and all state and territory leaders. The government says it expects social media companies to adopt age verification technologies, but critics say this comes with privacy issues. The legislation is still being debated in Parliament. In a strange turn of events, Finland's government announced a policy on the last day of 1945 that required all citizens to cut their banknotes in half. This policy, known as Setelinleikkaus, was Finland's response to the post-war problem of monetary overhang that was prevalent across Europe. The left side of the note could still be used to buy things, but at only half its value, while the right side became a bond that paid 2% interest per year and would be repaid 4 years later. The policy aimed to reduce the economy's stock of banknotes and mute the wave of post-war spending. However, the policy did not work very well, as it only affected banknotes and not bank deposits, which comprised 92% of the total Finnish money supply. Finland continued to suffer from high inflation in the years after the war. Other European countries developed different responses to the post-war overhang, including redenominations, temporarily blocking of funds, and all-out write-offs of bank accounts. The post-war European monetary reforms were not only designed to reduce inflation, but also had a moral basis, as they aimed to catch so-called black money. However, they failed to do so. Voyager 1, the iconic space probe that was the first man-made object to escape the solar system, recently gave NASA a scare when it lost track of the probe for a few days. According to a story reported by Joe Hindi, the drama began on October 16th, when NASA engineers told Voyager 1 to turn on one of its heaters. However, an unknown event caused the probe to trigger its fault protection system, which enables and disables various instruments on the probe to help save power. Due to the long distance between Voyager 1 and Earth, NASA didn't know it had lost contact with the probe until October 18th. At that time, the probe had reduced power to its X-band radio, causing it to transmit on a different frequency. NASA was able to regain contact briefly, only to lose it again on October 19th. This time, Voyager 1 had disabled the X-band radio entirely and switched to the S-band radio, which it hadn't used since 1981. NASA sent a test signal to confirm that the S-band radio was on and received a response on October 24th. The space agency plans to leave the S-band radio on for the time being while it investigates why the fault protection system was triggered and works to return Voyager 1 to normal operations, including restoring the X-band radio to service. Both Voyager 1 and its sister probe, Voyager 2, have experienced technical issues in the past, but both are still operational and continue to provide valuable data about the universe outside of our solar system. The probes are powered by radioisotope thermoelectric generators, which use the heat generated by decaying plutonium to power the probes. As the material continues to decay, the amount of heat it generates lessens, providing the probes with less power over time. To combat this, NASA has been periodically shutting down non-essential systems to keep both probes flying and working for as long as possible. Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm Beatrix Kiddo, your host. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the world around us. Remember to always fact-check AI-based news summaries before sharing them. On this day in history, in 1942, the classic film Casablanca had its world premiere in New York City. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow for more news, and in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to Chaos Theory on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.